What is going on, y'all? It is the fooliest of Magoolies, and man, I got a hype one for you today. It has been a very exciting week in Dragon Ball. Earlier this week, we got screenshots of Beast Gohan, and we were thinking, okay, we're finally about to get Beast Gohan. He's about to be the next unit to come out. Man, tell me why we got a leak from the Chinese server saying that we are not only not getting Beast Gohan next, but we are getting a new event hero. So I don't know when we're getting it over here, but for them, they've gotten S Brawley, which is Brawley from Super, added to the event chest. So he hasn't been in any chest previously for what, a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years now. No, yeah, it's been about a year and a half. And he's being added to the Beerus box, as well as Xeno Vegeta. And people were thinking from the translation, okay, that they're just, it's a typo. They misspelled Gohan because they were calling Beast Gohan Xeno as well. Well, we've gotten screenshots from their server, and man, we have a new Vegeta. And he looks like SS4 Vegeta, and he is, but it's actually a Xeno Vegeta. So it's from Dragon Ball Heroes, and he differs a lot because SS4 Vegeta in this game is a tank. Well, this Vegeta is an attack unit, and he is an absolute powerhouse. He looks similar to regular SS4 Vegeta, but he has a lot of differences. He has, well, I say a lot of differences. His difference is really aesthetic. He has on black pants instead of blue, and he has on white and black boots. But man, the way his skills work in this game seem absolutely broken. Oh my gosh. And from the translation we got, there's a typo in there, which I think which makes him even more broken than a lot of people realize. I've been talking to a lot of players on the Discord. Once again, if you're not in the main Discord, Armatura's Discord, join up. We have all the information in there, some great discussions, but this was how I was able to figure out that the description that we have is a little bit wrong. So I'm going to go over the character, but I'm going to do the skills a little bit out of order. I'm going to do the first skill, the active skill, then I'm going to skip the next one and go straight to his passives. And we'll talk about his second skill last, because that's the one that is potentially and most likely mistranslated and actually a huge deal. So hold on, we're going to get right on into it. All right, so as you can see from his first active, deals 110 damage to all enemies, okay? And comes with the Brave effect. And that's something that was added to Super Brawly as well. And what that does is make it so revive units do not revive, and people with unyielding do not have the unyielding effect after either an ally or an opposing member has been, downed. And so that is a great addition. It is great for Brawly, but it's great for this too, because this is an AoE unit. He does 110 damage to all enemies, and it's a little low. It's around what Mystic Gohan does as well. And right offhand, it looks like, okay, that's a little mediocre. And I think that a lot of people kind of passed up on him, like in potential, because it's not very good. But the way that he functions makes it insanely OP. But we're gonna get to that when we talk about the second skill. And so he also gets one layer of power. And what power does is gives you 30% damage, and it can go up to 10 stacks. So that's 300% damage by the time you get full stacks, which is absolutely insane. I mean, crazy. Okay, so and like I said, a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense until we fully understand the second skill. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the third skill so we can start talking about the second skill and what that actually means. All right, so your first passive, your first normal attack prioritizes the unit with the highest HP, which is super strong and is attached with 90% break, which is great. Most units do not, if any, don't have 90% break when they attack. And although this is only the first attack, is a huge advantage, being that, with AoE, you want to get down those DDs very, very quickly. And depending on who you have on your team, especially if you have someone like Fu, they're going to be the DDs are going to be taking damage. And so it also, when gaining full stacks of power, normal attacks come with crit hit guaranteed. Oh my, so I mean, guaranteed crit. So that means, essentially, you would mainly just have to build this hero for crit damage, though. It's going to take a while to get to full crit. You need to get 10, and like I said, that's discussed in the second skill. You'll need to get 10 layers. But here's the thing, okay? Crit guaranteed means that you really only have to build crit damage, because he's going to crit automatically on his own, okay? And there's been a lot of talks about how to maybe get to 10 stacks faster, but like I said, once again, we'll talk about that once we get to his second skill. Okay, moving along. At the beginning of each turn, gain 1 layer of power, increases the damage of the active skill by 40% against targets with HP higher than 70%, which is great because you're going to be firing this off at the beginning, and back row is almost guaranteed going to be above 70%. So this guy is not only going to be an AoE guy, he's going to be an absolute AoE nuker. And even though, like I said, this 110 isn't great, it'll all make sense in a second. Okay, so his last passive: each time you receive a halo, the damage will increase by 11%, but you will not be affected by the buff effects. Okay, so this is one of the ones that have been contended against. People are still trying to wonder, like, what exactly does that mean? And there's really been, two perspectives. Either you build him on a team that doesn't get halo, or you build him on a team with as many halos as possible so that he can get as much damage buff as possible. And that'll increase his skills and his normal attacks even more. And so there's two trains of thought for this, and we don't have him for testing right now to figure out which one is which. But I do have a little bit of insider information, okay? But before I talk about that, I'm going to go ahead and bring this second skill up. Okay, second skill: when entering the battle, gains 2 rounds of bleeding before taking action. If you're under bleeding effect, you will gain 100% energy. Otherwise, you can't gain energy. Each layer of power increases normal attack by 30% damage for 10 layers. We talked about that before. But this first part, so initially when the screenshots of this came out, people were very underwhelmed from this, because it's like, okay, unless you're running early game, most teams are not going to be using bleeding. But my friend Coven from Discord messaged me and informed me that this, in fact, is a typo. So he was saying that this shouldn't be bleeding, it should be blessing. And what blessing is, and Zykor from Discord also gave me some insight on this. I've been talking to both of those people very regularly, talking about like what all this means and what all we could possibly do with it. And the possibilities are insane. So what blessing is the ability that Whis, Sawa, and the Kai of Time give, to where they put a blessing on you, and then if you take damage, you heal a additional percent of health based on their attack power. Okay, so those are the only 3 units with blessing. And so what it says is, when entering battle, you gain blessing, okay, before taking action. If you are under blessing effect, you will receive 100% energy. So the first 2 turns, he'll have blessing automatically. So the first 2 turns, he is automatically going to do his active skill. So turn 1 and 2, boom, active skill gone, okay? He is doing massive AoE damage, because don't forget, he's doing 70%, he's doing 40% extra against people that are 70%. So he's automatically doing 2 turns of AoE. And so people at the beginning were also saying, well, okay, he's only going to use his skill twice, and then he's going to build up enough attack, but his skills are for AoE, so it's going to be good. Okay, well, in talking to Coven, he was saying that he had, from a reliable source, he received that if a player has a healer on that does blessings, he gets additional active turns. So in the demo that it shows, it's also kind of underwhelming. But with putting this into effect, that means that, so for Sawa and Whis, you get 1 round of blessing, okay? But with Kai of Time, you get blessing for 2 rounds after she does active skill. And so if this is indeed true, that would mean that this hero can get way more active turns in a row than just 2. They could potentially get 4 and maybe even up to 8 active turns in a row. And that is insane. Regardless of which train of thoughts you have, of whether you're building a team to function without halos or to function with halos and get a damage boost, this is insane. If in fact you can active turn way more than 1 time, okay? That is insane. That raises his damage potential through the roof. I mean, a ridiculous amount, okay? And, I am extremely excited about how to boost this character even more, because without having him, there's no way to really test. We can only just theorize right now. But just based on the conversation with these two guys who have brought great content. Coven has his own channel, go follow him. But Zycor, he is great at doing math for this game, and he breaks things down to a science. And talking to both of them, they've both come up with some really interesting team concepts, and I am just so excited for this hero, and I want to see exactly how he functions and how we can utilize him to be as broken as possible. Okay, so man, drop some comments, let me know what you think of this guy, let me know how you think he'll function. And man, I am super excited to see you guys on Discord to continue this discussion, because this hero has me invigorated for this game. I am so excited to try him out and see just how broken we can make him. But hey, that's all for me today, man. Like I said, hit me up on Discord. We can continue the discussion. I appreciate the watches, the views, the likes, the comments, all of that, man. Love you guys. Peace.